something I can't emphasise enough. Our project would not have worked unless we'd have had face-to-face interaction to begin with. So we got partners together. First of all, round a table, over some biscuits and coffee, and established relationships with them. And that's very much what Jisc do. And I think that was highlighted by that first partnership meeting. Thoroughly test Illuminate before using it. One of our partners from Walsall College was very lucky. Walsall have just had all their rotary done, and while they were having that, had fibre optic cables fitted throughout the city. And she had no problem whatsoever. Very, very quick, seamless, no interruption, worked perfectly. The other 5 of us had problems. And I think it depends on what time we were booking the meetings. Afternoon, the strain on the network was far greater than if we'd have booked them early in the morning. So again, I think we learned a lesson, go for 9 o'clock because there's not that much on the networks. Finally, do you want to show?
Yes.
Have we got another couple of minutes? Yeah? Has anybody got any questions?
I'm just going to show you some of the things that happen when we do actually get together. And we had the British Science Festival last week, and we put in a thing to the British Science Festival called Blood, Guts and Gore, The Journey Through Life, where all 7 partners got together and had an exhibition stand, or several exhibition stands each. In fact, 35 exhibition stands in one room, from all 7 partners. We had 2 sponsors, Aim Higher and Skills for Health, and we had a celebrity guest, Johnny Ball. So he came and spoke.
Brilliant.
He was brilliant, and he came and spoke, and he gave out all our competition winners, gave them their prizes. So this is just a whole sequence of, well, it's 20% of the photos that were taken on the day by our photographer. So I just thought we'd put those up there to show you that you can live in a virtual world, but as partners we do have to get together, and when we work together we do great things. That day was a 9 to 5 day, and we had well over 1,000 people visit us during the day. So that's really getting our message out. So just thought I'd leave that there, and you can ask us any questions whilst there. That was the dental care
Sue's teeth before anybody asks.
It was the dental care professionals from Birmingham Met.
Yeah.
Okay, so any questions for us? I'm happy to answer.
What would you replace Illuminate with if you could?
No, I actually think it's a really good tool, because of the others you couldn't do the recording or anything else. I think, I mean, we tried Skype, we tried Dim. They were worse than Illuminate for dropout and everything else with, you know, multiple people on. I think you just have to plan your Illuminate sessions at the quietest time on your networks. And I mean, I asked the NHS network guy and he said 9 o'clock, and it's probably the same.
Was that better then?
Yeah. But to try and get people together for 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I think that's very helpful to try and pinpoint exactly what the cause of technical problems were, because I think to start with, I thought you were saying there were problems with the Illuminate system.
No.
It sounds actually like they were mainly network capacity.
They were.
So I think there's some lessons there in terms of how you manage that effectively, such as the timing, or where people are accessing them from. You know, if you maybe if someone's at home in their office, that isn't going to work very well. But maybe if they're in office they could. But to answer your question, something that we've just come across, and I haven't really used it much, but something called Big Blue Button, which looks like it's a very slimmed down open source version of Illuminate.
Wow.
And as far as I understand it, it is quite quick. It's quite low network traffic. It's sort of flash based. It has a lot of the facilities. Well, actually, it has some of the basic facilities of Illuminate, but it doesn't do some of the more advanced stuff. And one thing it doesn't do is the recording of the sessions at the moment, which I know some people find very useful. But it's worth keeping an eye out on these things, because that these types of functionalities are available from different types of tools.
that's a really valuable point, because 18 months ago when we looked, that certainly wasn't around, so it must be fairly recent. So any project you're undertaking, have a look what's out there, because 3 weeks ago somebody could have put some other open source up. But I like Illuminate, and I don't want to put anybody off. It wasn't the tool, but you've got to consider what networks you're working on. But yeah, what was it? Big blue box?
Big blue button.
Button.
Big blue button.
I'm going to look for that now. Hello.
You mentioned at the beginning that one of the key bits for the issues for the academic institutions to understand was to understand that they could work in collaboration rather than competition. Yeah. How much of the choice of partners was serendipitous, or did that just happen, or did you deliberately choose people
I think
to work with?
I'll hand over to Julie. I'm sure there was deliberate choice there somewhere.
Well, the original approach came from Sandy Bradbrook, who was Chief Executive at Heart of Birmingham Primary Care Trust at the time, and he came to the providers on the patch, the immediate Heart of Birmingham patch, which is Aston University, Birmingham City University, and what was Matthew Bolton College at the time. And when Lynda came on board, we've been thinking about extending the partnership. So when Lynda came on board, it was then that I think we were approached actually by University of Wolverhampton, and they wanted to come on board. And you approached Walsall and South Birmingham as well. So I think some of it was by choice, and some of it was by people knocking on the door. But I think we realised when we got to 7,
it's big enough.
That's big enough. Yeah. That's the sort of critical mass.
Yeah.
And in putting together this event that you can see here, Blood, Guts and Gore, keeping 7 partners together for me, because this was, I wrote this original application to have an event, and to keep everybody together and make sure that everybody was turning up to meetings and participating, and it was like pulling a jelly along with an elastic band. I mean, you can imagine how difficult it is, but the end result is there, because when it comes to it, everybody turns up on the day and everything works fantastically.
And next year?
And next year it's going to be Blood, Guts and Gore on tour instead of the journey through life, because we were hosting it this year. Aston University hosted the Science Festival this year, but next year it's at Bradford, and so if we're going to do this, then we are going to be on tour, and we'll be there again. But it was a very successful event.
It's a very strange network to be involved in terms of the academy from an FE college point of view, because we are so driven by beating the competition and being the first provider there to actually bring in the funding and to get the delivery. So we have there's a range of courses, not solely our FE courses, but our HE provision as well. We initially mainly by geography, and it was that we had particular niche markets in the various institutions that were around the table. But that's not the case. We have people that institutions have got the same.
I think we need each other at the moment. Yeah. I think partnerships may help us through the next few years, which I feel are going to be quite difficult. And I think to keep in contact with each other and understand what is going on in all of the different partners is going to help us to keep up with this changing landscape that we've got. Those are my hands, but they were blue on one side and green on the other.
Her hands, but not my teeth. I'm not sure where they're from, but
That last point that you made there sort of suggests to me then that this is very much driven by a sort of winning hearts and minds and spreading the message agenda, rather than there's somebody there with a spreadsheet saying that for X amount of effort we get Y number of bums on seats. Is that the case?
Yeah. We're not being counted in that kind of way, no. I mean, at the end of the day, we will get people. This event, harking back to this, we gave out so much in terms of prospectus information, or booklets about various courses, or booklets about research, or invitations to be volunteers in our research projects. So much went out through this event on Saturday. We had so many school children come round as well. They've taken part in our competition. Lots of competition winners there that sat into Johnny Ball's talk and were given their prizes. end of the day, we will get outcomes. You know, Johnny Wall, for example, agreed to be an ambassador for the Aston Research Centre for Healthy Ageing. It's an outcome. So we are always looking for outcomes. But like you say, there is this sense of fun. And we have the Midlands Health Academy steering group, but I chair the Midlands Health Academy Community Engagement Subcommittee. And we have loads of fun, don't we? Working in a partnership way which is outside of your normal competitive atmosphere is a lot of fun, and we do benefit greatly from it. So yes, it's fun, and at the end of the day we do benefit, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm nearly finished. Any more questions?
So
Well, thank you all for coming. I'm so glad you didn't leave early to catch the train. Thank you.
Johnny